Now and again you just get like angry about things, or not angry, but just peeved, annoyed, irked. You know what I mean? A few things have happened this evening which have been unpleasant, I suppose. Um, I'm just gonna list them and just get it out of my system, really. If you're looking for some, you know, really edgy, informative uh, rant, then you can go somewhere else. The first thing which annoyed me was a friend telling me that he really, 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 really respects Varg Vikernes and is like his main political motivator. Now, I do have a respect for Varg, and I don't inherently dislike him, but honestly, Varg's paganism is really just an anti-Christianity, and you see that in the way that he talks about it, his body language when he talks about it, his all of his presuppositions about the past 1500 years of European history are boil down to a kind of negative force, and that's very dangerous because he's just reacting. He is affirming himself in a way, and he has learned to do that through various sorts of machinations. But ultimately, he is just an anti-Christian, and I suspect deep down quite an angry and kind of unhappy sort of guy. You know, I don't think that's true on the surface, but I think deep down there's a kind of fire which hasn't really been directed or formed or used to shape anything nice. Um, and so seeing my friend say, yeah, he's my main influence, and I can never become a Christian. Um, I think that's just very short-sighted and very naive as well. I think putting your trust or um, tying yourself to someone like Varg in such a way is like tying yourself to a rock that's sinking into an ocean. Um, you know, just regarding the pagan question, it's not coming back. Not in our lifetimes. Not in the lifetimes of anyone presently alive. Pagan, I mean proper, authentic, traditional polytheism as it is in Europe and as it was in Europe prior to Christianity. That is not going to come back. The institutions are not going to come back. All of the poetry and culture is not all of a sudden going to resurface or be authentically recreated or added to or built upon. It just isn't going to happen. The only tradition that Europe currently has, with at least with at least it being archived, if not being tapped into properly at the present, it is at least there in history and we know of it, is Christianity, specifically Catholicism or Eastern Orthodoxy. That's our only option, because that's where the institutions still exist, the texts still exist, the philosophy, the theology, the metaphysics is all there. We understand it all. We've understood it for over 1,000 years, and it isn't going away. Just because it's being ignored by people doesn't mean that it's gone. It just means that people are ignoring it because they're idiots. And authentic leaders are hard to come by and aren't doing their jobs or aren't doing things in the right way. Whatever you like. So that was the main point, I suppose, or not the main, but the first thing. And another thing which annoyed me was this prick fucking commenting on one of my videos, whining that I use the term anti-capitalism or anti-capitalist to describe myself, because I'm not a materialist, and I don't believe the foundation of a society should be individualism a la materialism, or individualism as understood by the lower wills of the individual, and that's something which is totally facilitated by capitalism and by hedonism and so on. So I'm speaking about it in a kind of philosophical sense, and then you have this autistic fucker rambling to me about economics and socialism and shit like this, and I don't know why the fuck this guy, why he thinks I give a shit. I'm not going into economics. I have no interest in economics. I have no power over economics. To me, the actual details of these things are quite secondary to my actual personal views and so forth, because my personal views are spiritual, and when I speak about politics and so forth, I'm speaking from that perspective. Economics isn't dependent upon that, because when I'm speaking about politics, it's often as an extension of myself, and it has little to do with taxes and private property and so on. So this guy just totally missing my point and misunderstanding me. And then he has the gall to kind of write me off and say, yeah, I don't have to explain to you why I disagree with this video, and this sort of really smug, and yet he's happy to type line after line to me about economics. Fucking some people, like, he doesn't actually care. Again, it's another case of some random nobody, some random modern boring person telling me all about their opinions and not actually giving a fuck about my personhood, and not wanting to expose their personhood to me in any sensible or meaningful manner. It's just another, hey, I have an opinion. Do you have an opinion on my opinion? But in a more passive aggressive way in this instance, anyways. And oh, for fuck, it just annoys me, because it's like, why the fuck are you here? Why are you talking to me? What is the reason? What are you trying to get out of communicating these ideas to me at the present time? And it's clear there is no fucking reason why he's doing this. He's just rambling. He's just fucking rambling. He's not trying to communicate anything serious, or to effect any change upon me in a serious manner, or to engage in any sort of serious human dialogue, or anything genuine, or anything proper. He just wants to parrot his opinions. And it's not like, I mean, fuck's sake, what am I doing now? I'm letting off steam and basically performing a kind of alchemy. So there is a reason, there's a purpose, there's a sense and a logic to it. And hey, there might be some worthwhile nonsense in here, so I'll put it on the internet for other people to sift through to find, something of worth, potentially. That isn't up to me, that's up to other people to do that. So, there's a sense to what I'm doing right now, and there's a sense to most of the things I do. But why the fuck is this guy doing this to me when he's made it clear to me he doesn't have any respect for me as a human being? Or really, I asked him actually, and he said, no, that's why I didn't tell you why this video is stupid, because you're not worth my time, or something to that effect. Well, if that's true, then why the fuck are you fucking rambling like a retard to me? Ugh. What was the other thing? Oh yeah. Some, I think, Brazilian got on a pissy like months ago when I refused to debate race mixing with him. I think it was like 3 in the morning when we had this kind of discussion in a YouTube comment section somewhere, and I was kind of in an impatient mood, as I sometimes am, right? Fair enough, that's my fault. And I was in kind of an impatient mood, and I basically told him, no, it's not up for debate, I'm not debating it with you, I have better things to do. At least at the time. I think I expressly remember saying to him that it's 3 in the morning, I have better things to do than argue with you about this. And lo and behold, literally at the start of September, so only 4 weeks ago, or no, 5 weeks ago actually, still quite recently, he did a bloody hangout with Forum Anglorum, or Ayla Sussex, whining about the fact that I didn't engage in this debate with him. He's held this grudge. I did also see him thereafter whining in a Millennial Woes comment section about me. Why didn't he contact me privately after the fact? Because we were talking on YouTube. I was a bit dismissive, fair enough, but if he genuinely cares about me enough to hold this grudge for months and months, then why didn't he make any effort on his end to engage with me? It just seems fucking retarded. And it is a non-issue, and I'm not going to debate it. I'll express my opinions about the matter, and I have done on various occasions, and I've made myself very clear, and my position is logical, and it is unassailable. Really, it is a watertight rationale I have regarding that topic, and I know that. I have given it extensive thought. I'm not a stupid person, and I have covered all ground with my argument. And so on. So it isn't something which I'm willing to just, debate with. and I just don't care at the end of the day about debating with people. Who fucking cares what I have to say? Or wanting to challenge my opinions, and vice versa. Like, for what sake? Why? What's the reason? I don't care about intellectual, you know, wanting to expand my mind, man. That comes naturally with age and experience, not through fucking keyboard battling with people on the internet. I just don't understand. What is it? Am I just being pretentious again? Probably. What was the other thing? There was 4 things this evening which have annoyed me. Oh yeah, Ed won't get on fucking Skype. He said to me, he said to me half an hour ago he'd be online. Wait, no, an hour and a half ago actually, an hour and a half ago. So 3 p.m., 3 p.m. Western American time. So that would have been 11 p.m. here in England, and he wasn't. It's now 20 past 12. Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyways, that's totally, unrelated to anything of substance. What was there recently? Yeah, I'm using my new mic. Um, I will be honest, I am slightly disappointed by it. It is not very sensitive, and I have it maxed out on sensitivity regarding my software, regarding my audio manager. With my computer, I have it maxed out with sensitivity regarding my mic, so it should pick up. But if I move away, then it gets quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter, and so on. So I have to be like fucking within 3 inches of the damn mic, even though it isn't a headset. It's actually a desktop mic. But hey, there you go. Thank you to Millennial Words for helping me procure this item. For fuck's sake, I am a little disappointed though. A little disappointed. It'll do. And I'm not going to fucking go through editing everything I ever use with it to kind of, remove the muffled sound, for example, because it would just take too long. But I know it is, I'm sure it sounds okay and people won't make a fuss out of it. I am comprehensible, or comprehensible? Which one is it? Anyways, yeah, I am understandable. People can hear me, and that's the important part. So, yeah, with that, this is going on my second channel, without a doubt. The first video on there, I suppose. I really need to stop deleting my second channels and just stick to it. This is a problem I keep having. I start something like a side project or a side idea and then leave it and then start another one instead of following through with it. Just indecision and unsureness with what I'm doing. That's why I deleted the other channels, because I wasn't sure of their existence, and there has to be a reason for it, there has to be a point. And if there isn't, then well, it has to go. So fuck it. Thank you for listening.